So the next step is to think about what color palette we might want to use in our painting. This might already be in your mind based on the motifs that you have chosen, or you might need to dig a little bit to explore possible colors. There are two things to keep in mind when you start to think about color. The first is to think of the possible end use of your painting/pattern so that the work you're making is relevant to a particular industry, such as fabric or wallpaper. And the second is to consider current trends that relate to that end use. So, for example, if you want to make a pattern that will be for fabric, then you might want to narrow it down a bit and consider, well, what kind of fabric? Is it kids' fabric? Is it women's or men's fashion? Or is it home decor fabric? The color palette that you choose will be different depending on which type of fabric you are wanting to create for. Here's an example of a watercolor pattern that I made with fabric in mind, specifically fabric for the women's fashion market. I researched color trends for the year to make sure that my pattern was on trend. Alternatively, if you think that your pattern might be used for wallpaper, then you're likely to choose quite a different color palette. The end use might be suggested by the motifs that you've chosen, or you might need to actually decide on an end use and then choose your colors accordingly. Once you've decided on a possible end use, then the next thing to do is some trend research. When I first started learning about the surface pattern design industry, I was really skeptical about trends. And I lacked confidence in my ability to know what the current trends are. However, I've learned that it's actually not that hard to get an idea about current trends. A quick Google search will bring up interior design blogs. You can look up paint manufacturers blogs like Dulux or Farrow and Ball if you're going down the home decor route. And there are sites like WGSN and Trend Bible where you can get some information for free. So it's really worthwhile spending an hour researching trends. You'll be surprised by how much information you can get. So for this painting that I'm going to demonstrate, I wanted to explore primates. I wanted to look at slow lorises and monkeys, and that led me down the road and I found pandas. And then once I thought, oh, I like the pandas, that got me to thinking about different plants and flowers that go with pandas, which led me to Google Chinese flowers, which gave me a list of 5 types of flowers, including chrysanthemums, lotus flower, orchid, 2 others I can't think of. All of this research went into the decisions I made about the color palette, which I'll show you in the next section. So the thing you need to do now is look at the motifs you've got, think about a possible end use for your pattern, and then do a little bit of trend research around that end use and see what you come up with. Make some notes. You might want to make a new Pinterest board for trends and save a few images, and that would be a really great starting point for your decisions about color in your painting. Don't forget that if you want to share your research and your process as you go along, feel free to upload that into the project gallery. I'd love to see what you come up with.